Blessed are they who have been persecuted within themselves. It is they who have truly come to know the Father. Blessed are the hungry, for the belly of him who desires will be filled. When we think of persecution, it's normal to remember when people have inflicted misery on us. It carries the sense of something unjust happening, a school shooting or a public stoning. That parking ticket we were given when we ran to the mailbox without paying for the 15 seconds to do so. All of those external events are always the first thing up. What about those who have been persecuted in their hearts? Those of us who have gone into ourselves a bit and done some digging understand exactly what type of self examination this is. It also says those are the ones who have truly come to know the Father. The Tiferet issue, right? We're journeying into our hearts to find God. When we hunger to wake up better today than we were yesterday, we awaken something deep within our hearts. It requires stepping into pain, observing all of those parts we try to hide from. Like, dude, I mastered the art of compartmentalization. Any big ticket items my fragile ego couldn't deal with, I just put in a box and shoved in a shelf in my mind. Anytime those old ghosts came calling out my name, I put it right back in the box. Intellect is easier than emotion. We can rely on logic to make our decisions and just be rational. Of course, when we bury our pain, deep down our bodies still carry the burden. Anything that triggers those memories within the flesh stirs the water of our subconscious, and the spirit of our waking mind struggle to keep it down. Rage becomes our only form of expression. Our egos perpetuate the lies we tell ourselves, and we continue to run around like we're rational beings free from the attachments of emotion. Bro, I spent 7 years in a penitentiary and nearly 2 decades dipping in and out of toxic friendships, blasting heroin to numb myself instead of addressing the trauma living rent free in my body. It's not a solution, it's a cage. Forward progress is pouring out the creatures and taking a moral inventory. Like Meister Eckhart said, since the metaphysical keynote of the spiritual and divine realities in which the human person now participates is oneness, the moral manifestation of this state is the practice of altruism. That is, treating other people as if they were oneself. We can't do that if we avoid our pain. If we aren't aware of our own suffering, how will we ever see people through theirs? If we're unaware of our traumas when others trigger them, we will meet them with rage and confusion. We have to learn to live in the world without being of the world. It's learning to live hand in hand with the silent observer within. The Father and I are one, right? The more we meditate and take the practice into our day, the more hungry we become. We begin to understand God is, and things get simpler. When our heads aren't constantly turning, chasing squirrels, we naturally start needing less. Let's get real honest here. How often do we choose love? How often do we look at situations and choose to show mercy rather than annihilation when we have the upper hand? That's what letting go means. When we reach a point where our ability to love outweighs our need to hate, we truly become children of peace. When we can see the hurt behind the actions of the people who have wronged us, when we truly see the speck in their eye, we can find the ability to remove the plank from our own. Once anger passes, it reveals our hurt. When we see the source of our pain, we can choose to react to it or walk away. Hurting others is always a choice. Playing tit for tat is always a choice. We are constantly making choices that decide our destiny, whether we choose to acknowledge them or not. Why? Letting go takes so much less energy. Besides, we are always in control of how we act. Our actions will always reflect who we are as people. So the only real question is, how do we want to live? Breathing in light, immersed in love is always the answer. Peace.